I don't hate Jurassic World Dominion. I just have some questions. By the way, this video might have spoilers for Jurassic World Dominion. I don't feel the need to do a non-spoiler and spoiler one for this one. So if you don't want to be spoiled, press mute, walk away, give me the view, but don't watch. If you've already seen the movie or you don't care about spoilers, let's go. After the events of the last movie, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, dinosaurs now live all over the world with us, and of course chaos ensues, having humans and dinosaurs coexist. And when Biosyn, a corporation that tries to help preserve and contain the dinosaurs, may also have some nefarious plans going on behind the scenes, it's up to Jurassic World's cast, including Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, to team up with the classic OG trilogy of Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park to shut down Biosyn, avoid being eaten by dinosaurs, and save our world, or something like that. So the movie starts off with this really cool news report. It's a Now This news report talking about the dinosaurs being in our world. You get all these montage of scenes of what happens in our world when dinosaurs are a part of it. My favorite is that this couple is having a wedding outside, dummies, and they have these birds they throw up in the air as part of their wedding, and as soon as that bird is like, I'm free, yeah! There's also a great scene where there's people are fishing, and you know that water dinosaur that's been in all these Jurassic World movies, he's like, my time to shine. Hey, everybody! Yeah, all that stuff in the news report is great because that's what this movie was setting up. Dinosaurs are now among us. How do we deal with it? How do people react to it? They even have polls in the news report that show some people want to protect the dinosaurs. Other people want to kill them. Other people are like, let's reopen Jurassic Park again. Then of course you got people trying to make profits. So you got people breeding dinosaurs, selling them on the black market. There's even like dinosaur dog fights, you know, like people around a circle looking at little dinosaurs, betting money on them, like all the crazy stuff that you can expect when a new creature like dinosaurs ends up in our world. Seeing the dinosaurs on the big screen always works for me. It never gets old. Whether it's being afraid of them, being in awe of them, or being chased by them while driving on a motorcycle, it doesn't matter. If dinosaurs are there, I'm excited. I'm all about it. They even have a little baby one, like Blue has a little baby dinosaur named Beta, and you're just like, I know you're here because of Baby Groot or Baby Yoda, but dang it, you're cute. Now, I know that some people might criticize the action scenes of this movie because it might feel like Jurassic World's attempt at trying to be Mission Impossible or the Fast and the Furious. There is one scene where raptors are chasing Owen around, and it is straight up Fast and Furious, even in a different location. So I can totally see Dominic Toretto right beside him for family. I just want that crossover to happen. Fast and Jurassic, let's go. But as cheesy as those action sequences are, it's still a good amount of action. It's fast, it's loud, it's fun, it's a good popcorn eating experience. And given some of the other things in this movie, I'll take as many of those action scenes as I can get. That's what you come to see with these things. You want to see dinosaurs chasing people. You want to see dinosaurs eating people. So I'm not going to criticize the action scenes for being the action scenes I would have expected to be in here. And most of them are done pretty well. Some of them are even a little suspenseful. There's one where they're on the ice and there's a dinosaur underneath the ice. And I'm just like, whoa. Also, they get attacked in the air. There's a part where like Bryce Dallas Howard, Claire, she has to like go underwater to hide from a dinosaur that's like right above her. And oh my gosh, having the original cast in this movie, it just felt so good. Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum come back as Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, and Dr. Ian Malcolm. Of course, there's nostalgia going on, but this OG cast, they are fantastic. They have great chemistry with each other, and they also have great chemistry with the newbies. Like when you see them teamed up with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, it's an actual good chemistry between the old and the new cast. And they're not just cameos in this movie. They have plot lines going on throughout the course of this movie leading up to the eventual team up. And when you're seeing these characters work together on screen, you understand why the first Jurassic Park worked so well. Yeah, of course it was the spectacle of those dinosaurs, but these characters were so well defined that when you see them again here, they start talking about what their lives have been like between the events of their last movie and this one. It's like, oh yeah, I feel that. Particularly Grant and Sattler, because as soon as Alan Grant sees Ellie Sattler, he's like, so, you know, that dude that you was with in Jurassic Park 3, is that like still a thing? And she's like, nah, I'm on my own right now, just living my own life. And he's like, oh, for real? Okay, hold on.
And Mark?
It's over.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I've been working on this literally since the first movie. It does lead up to a third act that is actually, I feel, very nicely done. Because you get good character banter, you get the fear of dinosaurs, you get some nostalgic callbacks, even to the point where a T-Rex walks behind a circular hollow statue to recreate the Jurassic Park logo literally in the movie. You know, there is some writer just patting himself on the back for that one. He's like, yeah, I did that. That was good. And the one character that stands out for me is DeWanda Wise. No, DeWanda Wise is not playing Ian Malcolm's daughter from the Lost World Jurassic Park. You can have more than one black woman in a franchise. DeWanda Wise is great in this movie. She plays Kayla, who's basically like the Han Solo in this movie. They need a pilot, and she's the one to call. She works for whoever gives her money, but of course she has a heart along the way. She easily holds her own with both the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World cast, and she also plays the voice of the audience. Everyone else in this movie has been around these dinosaurs for multiple films. She's the one that's like, I know about them, I'm aware of them, but this is about the closest I've gotten to them, so I have some things to say. This movie has a ton of characters. You got the old school cast, the new school cast. We got characters we haven't even seen in a while, like Omar Sy comes back. The two interns from the last movie show up for a little bit. You got new characters like DeWanda Wise. There's a lot of people around, a lot of good dinosaur food, and like all of them are like, nope, skip, move, haha, bob and weave. I mean, don't worry, some people get eaten, but there's a couple times where I'm like, look, there's a lot of people in this cast and these dinosaurs are hungry. I mean, I don't want any of them to really die, but you know, for the sake of the movie. There's even one time I literally thought they were gonna do it. Like they were setting him up to a point where I was like, oh shoot, they gonna do this? They gonna actually do this? That could bring some drama to this movie. And I should have known better. I was stupid to even think that was gonna happen. Of course, there's those last minutes, jump out of the way, or move your foot out of the way, or move your hand out of the way right before, ooh, y'all get you next time. That's what I feel like the dinosaurs are saying every time they miss a human, like, ooh, you win this round. Oh, boss hog dinosaurs gonna get you, dukes. You also get some realistic looking dinosaurs in this movie. The running gag with Jurassic Park, they've even mentioned it in a couple of the Jurassic World movies of like, dinosaurs don't look like this. They look like birds. So in this movie, you actually get some bird-looking, realistic-looking dinosaurs. And of course, when you have some new dinosaurs and some old dinosaurs, you get a dinosaur fight. Yes, we get another dinosaur wrestling match, and it is every time I'm like, I know I shouldn't fall for this, but it's something about them dinosaurs teaming up against other dinosaurs. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And I'm just like, yeah, Dino DNA. There's a lot to like about Jurassic World Dominion. It's got some good action-packed fun stuff. However, I am so conflicted with this movie because there is some stuff in here that I absolutely enjoyed, had a great time with. And there is some other stuff in this movie where I'm just like, what the hell? Why are you doing this? This movie is not happening right at the moment the dinosaurs were released. This is actually a couple years later. We've actually had a good amount of time of dinosaurs being in our world. So we're not watching the initial chaos. We're watching like a couple years later, which I just thought was odd because the chaos is like the meat. Like you let these dinosaurs out literally at the end of the last movie. It's like, oh, now shit's going down. And now we're at the point of like, yeah, dinosaurs are around and it sucks and people are getting hurt, but you know. And then at a certain point of the movie, locusts show up. And that's where the movie really makes me go, I'm sorry, what? Yeah, there's this whole storyline in the movie where locusts have somehow mutated and they're also growing in numbers because everybody wants to be gremlins, but nobody wants to do gremlins. So now these teenage mutant ninja locusts are just floating all over the place, eating all the crops. So we're gonna lose all our food supply. All this food is getting eaten except for the crops that are made from the seeds of biosin. So of course, Sattler is like, Biosin might be behind these locusts. So there's an entire plot of them just trying to sneak into Biosin where Malcolm happens to be working as a spy to try to figure out how to pin it on them that they're the reason that these locusts exist. By the way, this has absolutely nothing to do with the dinosaurs roaming the earth. The only connection is that Biosin is also trying to help capture and preserve the dinosaurs, put them in a central location, a park, if you will, so that way they're not roaming all around the world harming people. They want that dino DNA close by so they can play around with it, and that's what kind of led to these locusts. Henry Wu also returns to deal with the dinosaurs. No, the locusts. Look, I know that a dinosaur movie cannot have dinosaurs in it 100% of the time. Anytime you have a movie based on a central idea or a central character, there's always going to be supporting characters, there's always going to be supporting storylines. That is fine. The problem with the mutant locust storyline is that it almost starts to feel like a replacement problem as opposed to a complement to the original problem of dinosaurs being around the Earth. The threat you've created, which is the threat that all of these movies, including the original Jurassic Park, was making its way to, which is dinosaurs are now back in our ecosystem, just seems like the least concern at times in this movie. There literally are points in this movie where people are more concerned about these locusts than the dinosaurs. Yes, the mutant locusts hurt you if you get hit by a giant bug. Yes, you get scratched up. But a T-Rex got teeth. So I feel like, given the two threats, I know, yes, one of them is eating all the crops. That could mean we get starved and go hungry and people could suffer, but also dinosaurs. It's interesting that Jurassic World Dominion and the 3 Jurassic World movies are kind of similar to the 3 Star Wars sequels, because just like the Star Wars sequels, the first and the third one are done by the same director. The second one is done by a different director. The second one took risks that people criticized by doing something different with the franchise. And also, they both have Laura Dern in it. And like the transition from The Last Jedi to The Rise of Skywalker, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom to Jurassic World Dominion decides to do some retconning, particularly with the character of Maisie. If you remember in the last movie, Maisie was like the clone of Lockwood's daughter because she apparently died. He was so sad about it that he used the Jurassic Park information to then clone her, and that's why she lives among us and has like a little bit of a connection almost with the dinosaurs. But now it's revealed that like the daughter actually grew up and she's actually the one that cloned Maisie through pregnation. She had a disease, but like Maisie didn't get the disease. And so that's why Bison wants to look at her. Even goes as far as they have to kidnap Maisie. And of course, she's in those teen years now. So Owen and Claire the whole time are like, don't go outside. If you go outside, someone will try to kidnap you. And she's like, I don't care, mom and dad. You're not my real mom and dad. I'm gonna do what I want. She go outside, guess what happens? They gotta kidnap her because they feel like there's something in her genome, examine what her genetic makeup is, because they feel like if she's immune to certain diseases, they could use that same information to stop the locusts. So this entire retcon / new revelation about Maisie is just to connect to the locusts. Why don't we just call this movie Locust World? Blue mad too because Blue's baby gets caught in the process. She's like, look, what did I do? I'm a freaking raptor. Why everybody messing with me? She even looks at Chris Pratt once too like, you know I let you put that hand out in front of me many times. I ain't bite, but you don't bring my baby back.
I'm gonna get her back.
Long story short, the movie is just stuff. There's just a lot of stuff going on in this movie. You could have simplified it and it probably would have still had the same effect, if not a better effect, of what you were going for. Because just that aspect alone, dinosaurs in our world, that gives you action, that gives you drama, that gives you horror and suspense, and that gives you social commentary. Because ultimately we realize that this is going to be a problem that you can't solve, that we now live in a world where dinosaurs and humans coexist and we just gotta deal with it. There's a message at the end of this movie that makes that very clear. Which is why this is now the time to make it cross over with another universe. Fast and Furious, you've already established that we're in a world where dinosaurs exist. Come on, please. It's just the one thing I want in life. By the way, there was a prologue to Jurassic World that uploaded a few months before the movie came out. I actually didn't watch it because I thought it was the first scene in the movie and I didn't want to see anything before I saw the actual movie. But I went back and watched the prologue after the movie came out. None of this is in the movie and it's really good. Starts 65 million years ago. You see the dinosaurs and then cut to present day where dinosaurs are being chased down. You see a dinosaur at a drive-in movie theater. This is how the movie should have started. Also back in 2019, there's a short film called Battle at Big Rock. A family is on a camping trip and of course, dinosaurs show up. It's a really good short and definitely has the vibe of what I was hoping all of Jurassic World Dominion would be. Literally, that short is like Jurassic World 2.5. If you haven't seen it, check out that short and check out the prologue. That's some good Jurassic World stuff right there. There is definitely some good stuff in this movie, some very entertaining stuff, but there's just a lot of stuff that's just not needed. And not to say the Locust plot is necessarily bad, it's actually an interesting concept. If you were doing a full series of this, sure. But for a movie, when it starts to push the dinosaur plot out of the way, you got two plots fighting with each other as opposed to working with each other. And I think if there was some way they could make it all work together, it could have played out better, but it constantly feels like I'm ping-ponging between two different movies. But the stuff that was a good time was a good time. Yeah, I'm not gonna act like I didn't like anything in this movie. The parts that worked for me worked very well. I just wish the movie was a little more focused and with a lot less locusts. And as always, these are just my opinions. You don't have to agree with me. Feel free to share how you feel. just don't be an a-hole about it. What are your thoughts about Jurassic World Dominion? And thank you for watching, and sign my petition for Fast and Jurassic, the Fast and Furious Jurassic World crossover that needs to happen now. I don't have a petition, but I still want it to happen.